GTA home sales were again down in the month of November 2022 due to continuous rate hikes. Sales as well as average prices were down in November 2022. Hi everyone, I am Ravi Bagla with Remax Millennium Real Estate, and in this video I will share the sales data of Toronto Real Estate Board for the month of November. Last month, home sales and new listings were down as compared to both November 2021 and October this year. Interest rate hikes has resulted into a higher borrowing cost, which has adversely affected the affordability. Sales were significantly down compared to the same period last year, following the trend that started since the commencement of interest rate hikes this year. New listings were also substantially down from the last year and at a very low level. Let's have a glance at the market statistics first, and then we will discuss some details. There were 4,544 sales throughout the TREB MLS system in November 2022 across the Greater Toronto Area. It means a year-over-year dip of 49.4%. Last year, in November 2021, there were 8,979 sales. If we compare to the October month this year, sales were down by 8.4% in October. 4,961 sales across the GTA. New listings were also down on a year-to-year basis by 11.58%. This November, 8,880 new listings came to the market. Last year, we had 10,044 new listings this month. Average selling price was $1,079,000 in this November. It is down by 5.7% if you compare to the November last year. In November 2021, average price was $1,163,000. If we talk about the city of Toronto, 1,798 houses were sold, a drop of around 100 homes from the October month. In 2,746 homes were sold in rest of Greater Toronto Area, a decline of 321 sales from October. In 2021, in November, there were 3,587 sales in Toronto. Sales as well as average price was also down in November. Average price was $1,050,000 this month in November as compared to $1,096,000 in November 2021. In the rest of GTA, there were 2,746 homes sold. Sales were down by 49.4% as compared to November last year. Last year we had 5,430 sales in this month, and average price was 1.2 million in last year November. And this year average price was down to 1.1 million. New listings are also down in both city of Toronto and rest of GTA. In Toronto, last year in November, there were 4,253 new listings in this month, and in this number was down to 3,562. In rest of GTA, last year in November, we had 5,791 new listings. That number is now down to 5,318. Now we dig little deep into the home type sales and price. In Toronto, detached home sales was down by 40%. Semi-detached home sales dipped by 44.8%. Biggest drop was seen in townhouses and condo apartments. Townhouse sales was down by 53.3% and condo by 54.5% as compared to last year November. In rest of GTA, biggest dip was seen in condo market, which was down by 55.9%. Detached sales were down by 48.2%, semi-detached was down by 53.8%, and townhouse sale was down by 44%. Again, like last few months, it's not only that sales are down, average prices were also down as compared to last year. In Toronto, detached average price was down to 1.56 million. It was 1.8 million in November 2021. Semi-detached average price was down to 1.18 million this year as compared to 1.43 million last year November. Surprisingly, average price of townhouse was up to 995,000 from 981,000 last year, same month, an increase of 1.4%. Average price of condo was relatively same, like it was 737,000 this year as compared to $745,000 last year in November. Now we talk about the rest of GTA. Average price of detached home was down to 1.32 million. It was 1.49 million in November 2021. Semi-detached average price was down to 924,000 from 1,070,000 in November 2021. Townhouse average price was down to 872,000 from 955,000 last year. Like last month, average price of condo was again up this month by just 0.3%. It was 648,000 in November 2022, up from 646,000 in November 2021. If you compare about the city of Toronto, From January to November this year, there were 26,616 sales with an average price of 1,145,000 as compared to 41,000 sales last year, and the average price was 1,058,000. There were 53,937 new listings this year as compared to 61,097 listings last year during the same period. In the rest of GTA, this year till now we had 45,000 sales at average price of 1,225,000 as compared to 74,000 sales last year with an average price of 1.1 million. There were 94,000 new listings this year from January to November as compared to 100,000 listings last year same period. If I talk about sales in some cities, Richmond Hill had 144 sales, 208 sales were in Markham, 37 sales down from last month, 197 sales in Vaughan, 10 more than the October month. Brampton had 283 sales, biggest dip was in Brampton. There were 404 sales in October, a dip of 30% in the number of sales. Mississauga had 409 sales and Caledon had 56 sales. Burlington reported 135 sales, Oakville 155 and Milton had 91, the same number. The housing sector certainly has been impacted by rising borrowing costs, and so too have the other sector of the economy with the linkage back to housing. As per the president of Toronto Real Estate Board, this increased borrowing costs represent a short-term shock to the housing market. Demand for housing will pick up strongly in medium to long term because of federal government's aggressive plan for immigration. Long-term problem for government will not be inflation but rather ensuring we have enough housing to accommodate the population growth. Today, Bank of Canada again hiked the interest rate by 0.5% to 4.25% in efforts to lower down the inflation. The Bank of Canada's key interest rate now sits at its highest level since 2008. This is the seventh and the final interest hike of year 2022. Governor Mr. Tiff Macklem said that the inflation is leveled off. It stopped going up. The bank is focusing more on measuring underlying or core inflation. He mentioned the price of oil is going down, but that is because of dipping global oil prices. He said that economy is still in excess demand, supply is at a lower level. Economy is slowing down, but there is a gap between demand and supply. Bank will be watching how the interest rates are working to slow demand. The Bank of Canada's today message suggests that they are reaching the end of their tightening cycle. It was a clear suggesting that bank may be getting ready to stand on the sidelines for a while. Let's hope for the best. Thanks for joining me today. I help people just like you buy, sell their properties, and I would be happy to assist you. Also, if you are looking for additional questions or something specific, please feel free to message me, call me at the number below, or send me an email. And for more information on Greater Toronto area, check out some of our other videos or visit my website at ravishinghomes.ca. Thanks for watching. I am Ravi Bagla with Remax Millennium Real Estate. Thank you so much.